Okay, it's time to fix the furnace. The blower motor has been having problems and acting up, so I got another motor and I hope it'll work. This here's the motor. I know it's not very clear down here. I don't have much light down here. Let me turn some lights on. I'll be right back. Well, first thing I want to do is switch this thing off. So it has its own little box here, and I'll just boop, switch that off. Make sure there's no power going to it. Doesn't be all clumsy and stuff. I don't know if you can see it. I hope you can, but it has these 3 wire nuts, and these got to come off. One's for ground, one's for hot, and one's for neutral. Let's see, that one's here. Okay, that's the ground wire right there. Oops, that's the ground wire right there. And let's see, that's the neutral. And this one goes to the hot side. Now the problem is, both these wires are black. But, let's see now. This one's got ribs on it. So I tell you what I'm going to do, is I'm going to go ahead and take a picture of this. And make sure that I put it back together the way it is. Because I don't want to run them backwards. So, hold on while I get that picture. I kind of figured it'd help a little bit if I got my flashlight out. But that's where the wires are. Okay. The motor has this belt on it that drives the squirrel cage inside this blower thingy. This right here, right there, is to adjust the belt tension. I usually keep the belt kind of loose because I don't want to pull it too hard. I don't want it pulling too hard on the bearing, so I keep it, you know, just tight enough to make it work. Now the bolts I got to take out are on the other side of this machine, so I am going to use my open end wrench to get to them. I'm going to go ahead and do that since I don't have, like, you know, multiple hands to show you all this, and I'll come back. You know what, guys, as I was reaching way up under there to get to that bolt, that nut right there with my wrench, I realized I could pull this whole thing back and tilt it toward me and that would make getting to it a lot easier. So I'm going to continue with that, and we're going to come back when I try to put this all back together and see if it works. All right, I got the old motor off, and this was actually more of a budget unit with sealed bearings. So I don't know, the bearings feel pretty good still, but still it makes a lot of noise and it makes a ruckus. And we've had to switch the furnace off a couple of times because it just made noise and wouldn't start. I've already moved the pulley over to the new one, and what I'm going to do is take my little tape measure and measure how far out the old pulley was. And it looks to be, let's see, about what, 5/8? So I'm going to set this one at about 5/8, and we're going to go from there, get all these wires changed over and get it ready to go. Okay, well, I've already yanked the wires out because you basically got to do your own wiring. And looking in here, one side's marked 1, one side's marked 2. Now, this wire that I'm going to reinstall to the new one side is ribbed and the other side isn't. But the problem comes from this one that, I don't know if I can prop this up. There we go. It's not marked 1 or 2 in there, but I did just now notice one wire is yellow and the other one's black. So one wire is yellow, the other one's black in there, and that's the way I'm going to hook it up. So the rib side goes on the non-yellow wire. So that's the way it's going to be. I've got the wires connected, little caps put back on. Make sure this little cap's in there good and tight. And well, I haven't done the ground yet, but I'm going to go ahead and hook that ground up. I got my ground wire right there. But one thing I noticed is I am going to have to clock this motor because it does have oil ports in it. One there and one there. And that's what I wanted. A motor that I can actually oil, because I believe that that'll last longer. But while I was, let's say, doing a preliminary clocking of the motor and the brackets, I noticed that my screws for the brackets, well, like this one, they were both like this one. They were pointing the wrong way. So what I got to do is take this off, the screw off, and turn it around, which I've already done to the back side. So then I got to switch the adjuster off of this and put it on here. So I'm going to keep on going and working on this thing, and sooner or later we're going to get it installed in that heat in the furnace. And that big green monster there. All right, I got everything switched over. Got the adjuster on it. Got all the wires switched over. Might have to clock it some more, and that's why I turned these around so I could reach them with a screwdriver. And I'm going to lube the oil cups once I put it in place. So let's put it in and see how it fits. Now before I snug those bolts on down, I'm going to check my belt alignment, and actually, as it's sitting, it's looking pretty good. Yeah, it looks pretty good actually, right there. Yeah, okay. All right, I got it all installed and wired up and pushed back in place and stuff. It does look like that belt's a little bit out of line. I might work on that a little bit. But now comes the moment of truth. Let's see if it works and if it blows or sucks. Okay. First, I'll switch my little switchy thingy back on. And over here, I've got the manual fan switch, so let's push that. Cross your fingers. And here it's alive! Yeah, that belt looks a little bit off. I'm going to have to adjust that a little bit. But it's alive. It looks like it's rotating in the correct direction. You see right there a little arrow that says rotation, and that's the way it's rotating. Yeah, I got to adjust that belt. But other than that, looks like put a little bit of oil in the oil ports. Adjust the belt a little bit. And we're back into heating the house. Woo! I'm up here with our thermostat. And I don't know if y'all appreciate this or not. It's actually not too cold right now, but still. I want this thing to kick on. About a week ago, the blower motor went out, the one I just replaced, and so did my back. So we've been kind of freezing up here for a little while. We got an electric blanket, and we got the propane fireplace, but still, that's not central heating. And now that it's fixed, we can be warm again. All right.